Hello and welcome to our next CrowdProperty development funding opportunity, which is for Burton Enterprise Centre, Waterloo Street, Burton upon Trent, DE14 2NB. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So this opportunity is a former Victorian school last used as serviced offices. There's been planning granted for the existing office space to be converted into 25 apartments. The property is situated on Waterloo Street in a mixed commercial and residential area about half a mile from Burton Town Centre. It's been purchased at £620,000. The Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors estimate the gross development value to be £2,060,000. CrowdProperty has agreed to lend £1.25 million in two tranches. The first phase is a raise of £800,000 and the second phase is for £450,000. It's going to be an 18-month loan term with the first charge security taken by CrowdProperty to secure any people lending on this particular project. The borrower is proposing to build the property and then sell. It's located in a mixed residential and commercial district of Burton upon Trent, half a mile south of the town centre. Burton upon Trent has a population of 72,299 people. The largest employer is in the brewing industry. That includes Molson, Coors and Punch Taverns. Marmite and Pirelli are also local major employers. The building is a two-storey U-shaped brick building, has pitched roofs on a site of 0.57 acres. The building totals approximately 11,700 square feet. The site coverage of 30%. There's undeveloped areas providing car parking of about 25 spaces, driveways and footpaths, and also gardens. The proposal is under planning permission which has been granted with the reference number P/2017/01105 with East Staffordshire Council. There's a conversion planned of the building into 25 apartments that will create 1 studio flat, 9 one-bedroom flats and 15 two-bedroom flats. The purchase price is contracted at £620,000. The completion is on the June 29th, 2018 with a build programme of 40 weeks. The borrower is then going to sell the 25 flats. The location and site plan is just on the left-hand side of your screen there. You can see Burton upon Trent is just north there of Tamworth and Sutton Coldfield on the A38, and that's just south of Derby. And you can see the M1 is running on the right-hand side from Nottingham through to Leicester. On the right-hand side, you've got your site plan, which is shown on the right-hand side there, obviously edged in red. And I've got some great photos to show you here. This is the existing building. Quite a stunning Victorian building there. Lots of ceiling height, as you can see. Great light windows, plenty of light falling into the projects. And you'll see when I show you the floor plans at the moment, the reason why some of them are different sizes to others is to accommodate for where those windows are. They really want to maximise on space inside this particular project. Here's then the block plan. It was a former School of Art, a Victorian School of Art, later used as service offices, and now planning permission granted to convert it into 25 apartments. The existing ground and the first floor plans look just like this. I realise that may be a little bit small on your screen, but you probably get an idea as to the layout. There's a U shape there. On the left hand side, that's the ground floor, and then on the right hand side, the U shape is on the first floor. Let me show you what's proposed on the ground floor. There's the proposed layout, 15 flats on the ground floor. That fills 811 square meters. I know they're a little bit small. Some of them are one bed, some of them are two bed. There is a three bed as well. On the first floor, the proposed layout is there, and little gaps is where it wasn't quite big enough to be able to put some flats on the first floor, so they've left that out. Ceiling height didn't allow them to, but they still got another sort of 10 flats there on the first floor, taking the development up to 25 flats. Here's the proposed flat floor areas. On the ground floor, going through from flat 1 through to flat 15, various size square meterage ranging from about 73 square meters on the first floor as to the largest flat there. Some of them being 2 bathrooms as well. Certainly flat 3, 4 and 5 have got 2 bedrooms, and flat 13. On the first floor, there's another 10 flats there. If you look, most of them have got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and even one with 3 bathrooms. Flat 19 has 3 bathrooms, the rest of them having 1 bathroom. The reason why some of those are a little bit smaller square meterage, that's because they're being used as a studio, and that works really, really well, I've been told, by the developers in that area to get funding on there. The overview of the project financials and the proposed loan is an existing property which is valued at £806,000. That's been verified by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. They estimate the conversion cost to be £800,000. The total gross development value based on the 25 flats, according to the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, is £2,060,000, and CrowdProperty has agreed to lend £1.25 million in 2 phases, and that's going to be a loan term maximum of 18 months. The initial loan to value starts at 70%. The proposed loan is the agreed loan amount to be drawn in 2 phases. The first phase raising £800,000, that's £423,000 towards the purchase price, and then the further £368,000 will be drawn on the independent monitoring surveyor's verification as part of this first phase loan. The second phase loan is for £450,000, which will be raised in Q4 of 2018. Now, the loan to value is 70%. That falls to 69.78% when you include the rolled up interest. It's secured with a first charge against the property, and CrowdProperty will pay 8% per annum interest on monies lent on this project. That interest is going to be paid at the end of the project with a maximum loan period of 18 months, but it could be less than that. It's a 2-phase loan, phase 1 and phase 2, but both phases will be paid back at the same time. The minimum loan that you'll get is 6 months, and the loan is going to commence the first phase on the 29th of June 2018. The capital and the interest is then going to be repaid from the sale of the flats. The individual sale of those flats will mean that there could be some part repayments of the loan during the loan period, providing that this is not less than £250,000 tranches. So here's a little bit more detail about the borrowers. The property has been purchased in a single purpose vehicle, which is called Burton Waterloo Limited. The company registration number is 11358-127, and the owners and directors of the company are Fabio Frizenda, Piotr Shidalik and Trevor Walker. Now, Fabio has been in the property industry for 20 years, starting in agencies and working for Century 21 Real Estate Group near to Paris. 2005, he was co-owner of a property investment company near to Paris, sourcing and investing in renovation projects, and also he's done flips on plots of land. Between 2011 and 2017, he was a property investor in the UK, and he set up Investimo Limited, sourcing and investing in commercial buildings to create HMOs. Piotr has been running a building company in the UK since 2007, specialising in extensions, extensive refurbishments and commercial to residential conversions. Recently, he converted a pub into 20 ensuite bed, that's a hostel in Liverpool. He converted 2 former NHS buildings into 26 ensuite bedroom HMO, that's in St Helens, and he owns 11 other properties in London and Manchester, including a mix of HMOs and single-lets. Trevor is a fellow of the Chartered Insurance Institute and a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Loss Adjusters. He's now a full-time investor and property developer. His prior projects include the conversion of a former mill at Airedale House, Sunbridge Road in Bradford, and that was converted into 37 flats. On new builds, he's completed a 7-unit scheme at Linnet Lane in Liverpool. Now, this is the second opportunity that CrowdProperty is supporting Fabio and Piotr on. Their project in Bury completed last Friday. So CrowdProperty is a responsible lender and also a responsible borrower. So they believe in responsible borrowing. So the amount of the loan is based on the project and experience of the developers. They've agreed to lend the developers 1.25 million. The loan is going to be raised in two phases. The first phase is £800,000, which is going to be raised now. The second phase of £450,000 is going to be raised in Q4 2018. Is secured against the gross development value of the site, which according to the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors is valued at £2.06 million. The loan is to be valued on the property, which is loan to value of 70%, which will fall to 69.78%, including the rolled up interest, and the borrower will then sell the individual units. The latest payback date is 18 months after the loan start date, with part repayments allowable in tranches of £250,000, which will include capital and interest. It's a 6-month minimum loan period, and the minimum interest you'll get is 6 months. CrowdProperty will have the first charge to protect the lenders in the event of any default. So your next steps then are to make sure that you fully understand this loan. It's then important that you carry out your own due diligence on this project and also on the developers, and then decide how much you would like to lend on this project. Visit the website, that's crowdproperty.com, and then pledge on launch. Now the launch is going to be on Friday the 1st of June at 10 o'clock. You can preview from 9:30 in the morning. So to be clear, the launch of this project goes live on Friday the 1st of June at 10 o'clock in the morning, with a preview from 9:30 a.m. and then you can pledge on launch at 10 o'clock when this project goes live, and then CrowdProperty will conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks, and you can then be invited to send your funds to the CrowdProperty solicitors at the start of this project and start earning your interest on completion of the loan agreement. So a reminder, this is going live on Friday the 1st of June. 10 o'clock is when it's live. You can preview from 9:30 in the morning. And I really hope you can support this project. Thanks for being with us on this CrowdProperty webinar, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.